go.
All right. If you're ready, I'm ready.
All right, I'm ready.
I was hoping that we'd both be drunk, but that's okay. It's 11 a.m. on a Tuesday, and here we are. So, ladies and gentlemen, and Neil from Tip of the Sip Sports. He doesn't fall into either category. Not sure you're ready for this one. The term icon is tossed around nowadays, but to me, we have one of the icons. We have Pidge from Pickbinsports gracing us with the 5 with Joel-ATX podcast. Pidge, say hi. I'm giddy like a kid on Christmas morning. This is fantastic. You were on top of my list when I started this, so I really appreciate it. So, based out of Irving, Texas, just a little west of Dallas, a premier shop. So he has 44. Do you know your premier? You're very premier. The most premier shop I've ever seen. You have 44,000 followers. I don't think you guys are ready for this. In fact, I'll ask you, Pidge. How many thousands of cards have you sold on Whatnot?
180,000.
240,000.
Wow.
That's a lot of packaging. That's a lot of packaging.
That is. Yeah.
So just to give everyone, if this is your first time on the 5 with Joel-ATX podcast, first of all, shame on you. Where have you been? This is really just a stream for collectors. It's a stream for people who are looking to possibly stream. Maybe you just started streaming. Maybe you've been streaming forever and you're just looking for some advice. We couldn't have had a better guest today. And Pidge, when I first started just buying on Whatnot, Tip of the Sip Sports, we'll give him a little plug. He was the one that said, you got to get in this guy's show. He's crazy. Yeah. And sure enough, you're certified crazy, but in a good way.
Well, thank you.
I don't think I've missed one. Well, at least one show a week. So you stream. I mean, do you stream every day?
Across all applications, we stream every day. Whatnot, we're 4 days a week.
Okay. Yeah. So I implore you to take notes. This is going to be highly entertaining and fun. I've got some juicy questions that I'm going to be throwing Pidge's way. And let's get started. So for question 1, what streamer do you actually hate and is completely overrated? That was a joke. Don't answer that. You want to answer that, don't you?
I was going to, damn it.
I'm going to put like Cruise Cards bubbles on top of above your head because I know you're thinking.
I love it.
We love Cruise. So I always like my very first actual question because it's fun to look back. You've been streaming since 2022. Tell me about your first show if you can remember that.
Okay. Whatnot was a very different creature back then. It had roughly 1/90th of the user base it has today. Our first stream we ran for 5.5 hours and sold 16 cards. Yep. We topped out at a magical number of 4 as our high viewership. And a lot of the stream actually was me and Bab were sitting there and I was putting up cards and pretending they were selling. And I was just making up random usernames and putting the card down. Oh, great buy, Joe B2. Throw another one up and they were all no selling. But I thought it would be good, like, even in those moments, just to get practice, because one of the things I came in knowing that we were going to want to do is like have pace. I had watched a lot of other Whatnot streams because I am a degenerate card buyer. Little secret. I have a problem, but one of the things that I really liked was when the people would get the card up, because that would kind of keep me around because, okay, what's coming next? Is it something I can buy? And I really wanted to emulate that. And for me, the guy I wanted to be at the very beginning was the Danold from Going Twice. He's actually the guy that got me going here.
Nice. Yeah. Pace, I think, is incredibly important in general, but if you watch your show, you can tell that it's a focus of yours. In fact, I believe you have the quickest hands in Texas. Is that your slogan, or just make that up?
Just hands on Whatnot, baby.
Quickest hands on Whatnot. Yeah. When I first started, as you can tell, just like all of streamers, we like to talk too much. And Scott, who was Seahawk, now he's Lucky's Card Shop, he gave me some brutal feedback like, dude, you're running 2 cards every minute. That's not cutting it. I was like, thank you so much. Because you get lost in the sauce. You don't really realize you're just so excited about this card that you're selling. You're taking your sweet ass time doing it. So that was a good kick in the pants for me that I needed. And so it's a still work in the progress. So thank you. Wow, that was 2022, your first show. You sold 16 cards. Well, you make believed you sold a lot more, which I love. That's a very pitch thing to do. Good Lord, I can't even add how many shows you've probably done in the past 3 years, but what is your number one favorite thing that you love about streaming on Whatnot Pidge?
My favorite thing about actually streaming, being on here, is I'm not a super social butterfly. I don't do a lot of going out. Some of it is family related. I got a few kids running around, so I don't get a whole lot of free time.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just interacting and connecting with my homies. It's one of those things where, for me, it is like a drug. It really is. I enjoy getting to spend time with people whose company I appreciate, people whose company I look forward to being in. I mean, every time you come into the room, we have a whole to do now.
Yeah,
Stuff like
free
that.
free Joel-ATX. You got the card.
Yes,
Love it. I love it.
yes. And those interactions are cooler than anything else. And I think over time, it's kind of become like my daily breather is okay, hey, now it's showtime. I can put down all of the work and go have some fun. And Joel, I can't think of anything that's funner than streaming. I really can't. It's awesome.
And if for some odd reason, if you've never been on a Pickbin's show, like he's having fun. He's got his crew behind him. Sometimes his wife is there. Rage is always there. It's like it's just a fun hang. And so I mean, that's what just naturally draws people to your stream. Not only obviously you have fantastic cards and you put on a great show, but you can tell that there's the passion and just it is incredibly entertaining. So keep doing what you're doing. Next question. What single piece of advice would you give a new streamer?
I think there's a couple of decent pieces I could possibly pat. One of them you kind of touched on previously. I asked people ad nauseum, what do you think I could be doing better to make my shows more fun? And you kind of touched on that immediately here, was getting that brutal and honest feedback. The one thing I don't really like hearing is, hey man, I have a good time. I think it's great. I'm sure there's something in there you don't like. I don't have much of a filter. So, a lot of times people will say, hey, tone down the swearing. I get that one a lot. From my mom and her friends. Could you swear just a
Great
little
advice.
less?
Moms know. Moms know what they're talking about.
They do. Moms know. As far as a piece of advice, I think pace is very important in a stream. I think if you're able to keep moving, I'm no doctor, but I do believe there's some kind of oids or isms or emamines or something in you that move when you move and they get your brain going good. When you're moving, I do think it helps, and I really do. Pace makes the race kind of thing. I think pace is a big one. Being consistent, I think, is painfully important. I see a lot of people doing pop-ups a lot of the times, and I am a big believer in, hey, find the time that you're going to be most available and just lock it out. Hey, I don't exist during this time. This is my streaming time. If that's Tuesday at 4:45 a.m. to 7 before you go to work, all good. People know they're going to be able to find you from 4:45 to 7 a.m. And I do think that's incredibly important. And I guess the last thing, and it's one that I've sworn by and I've said a gazillion times, start off running one show. Run the best show you possibly can. Run the best one show you can possibly put together. And for that, it's our Sunday show. It's always been, and I think it always will be. We're going to put our best cards, our best everything we have forward on Sunday. And then when you have an opportunity, maybe make a second show where it's okay, here's everything else other than the absolute best that I have. And, 3, 4 down the line at that point. But I do think it's incredibly important to be consistent and to have like a a flagship show, if you will. I think that you mentioned Cruise earlier. I think that's one thing that Cruise does incredibly well is,
Yes.
hey, I'm not wasting any of my stuff tonight, boys and girls. If you want to buy something beforehand, sure, here's my price. Here's some other stuff that don't exactly fit that rubric. But my best stuff is my best stuff, and it's going to be right here Saturday night at 7. I think
There's
that's
First of all, there's so much to unpack there. I think pace is so important, like you said. Consistency is so important, yet people don't do it. Isn't that funny? Like people want your buyers, the people that like Pidge, want that predictability. So they know, while you might do the lot lizards on Tuesday, or you might just do 5-second sudden deaths on Wednesday, they know Sunday is when you bring out the fire. You know what I
right.
mean? Like it's that predictability. For me, funny thing is I'm out in my garage crushing cardboard at around the show when you start on Saturday shows. So or
That's
Sunday.
awesome.
So that's my tradition. Like I'm literally out in my garage breaking down cardboard, watching Pidge. Just I love the show and tell that you do. Like those, first of all, yeah, I don't think I would ever own cards like that. You're crazy. Amazing selection. So don't miss the beginning of his Sunday shows. They are incredibly entertaining. Pidge, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Thank you. If anyone ever tries to argue that, I say, would the movie have happened had it not been Christmas? And they're like, no. I'm like, thank you. Now suck it. Okay, good. We got that out of the way. Suck it. We all have challenges, no matter if you're a new seller, if you've been doing it for a year, if you've been doing it for 5 years. And so I think one question I want you to talk about is procuring inventory, procuring cards, especially with you doing so many shows a week. That's when I watch you, I'm like, where does he get all these cards? It's insane. Like I do one show a week and I struggle to have the proper amount of inventory. So can you talk a little about that, Pidge?
Sure. For us, I think procuring cards is something that we actually do pretty well. We have a buying team that is my father, Mig the Goat, who you do see from time to time on my streams, myself. My wife does a little buying. We have a new buyer named Austin. We don't have a goofy name for him yet, so we got to government name him until we can get him a goofy name.
Okay.
So we allocate a lot of resources to buying in the first place. I live on Whatnot. I proudly say I am the most gulagged person in the history of Whatnot, and it's not close. Roughly 12 times a day, I would say I get
Wow.
gulagged because I think it's every 23 transactions. My bank's like, nah. Uh, but we have really tilted hard into card shows. I think card shows are incredibly important for a number of reasons. Right now, I'll just touch on the procurement part. Um, Being known as a person that buys cards at card shows is incredibly important if you're looking to increase your volume. There's only so much that the local people are going to be able to bring to you. And I mean, don't get it twisted. I spend 5 days a week driving around in my car picking up cards before our Whatnot streams. But
Yeah.
that said, more than half of our inventory every week is procured at card shows. And I think it's so incredibly I can't stress how important, unless you have a card shop, the card show is going to be your best friend. And when you get known as, hey, this is Joel goes around and buys cards that he can run on Whatnot. Not only are you going to have people in booths that know when you walk up, hey, this person's looking to buy a stream's worth of cards from me, you're going to have people walk up to you and say, hey, I bet you need some inventory. Which has actually kind of changed even our current card procurement model even more, because I'm doing way less walking nowadays at shows and more having people walk up where they know, one, we're going to pay a very fair number on the cards. I like to say I don't think there's anybody in the room that pays better on cards than we do. And I think being known as a very fair person at those card shows is incredibly important. You don't want to get the reputation as a lowballer because, again, human beings do live by recency. And if they have that bad interaction with you where it's, hey, this guy went way low on some stuff, one, no matter what your second offer is, he's still going to want to say no. He may say yes if it gets good enough, but he wants to say no. I think that's incredibly important. One of your guys, Mr. P, he's very good at that. He doesn't make offers that he doesn't think are going to get accepted. And I'm very similar in that way. I don't want to be told no. If I make an offer, I want it to be strong enough to where it's almost their fault if they don't take it. And Mr. P does that really well.
So you're saying at any given show on Whatnot, 50% of your inventory is actually procured outside of the Whatnot streets and at shows, correct?
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome. Something I don't think about either. I don't go to enough shows, and I'm learning as well the power of, you buy a card for $20 on Whatnot, you got to sell it for $30 to almost break even. Shipping,
tax,
fees, right?
Shipping,
and so
yeah.
Talk about the mistakes you make in the first year for sure. I'm definitely guilty of that. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. Let's talk about the future of Pidge. Let's talk about the future of Pickbin. What is going on in the next, say, 6 months to year that you're excited about, that you're working on?
Well, we're opening a card shop, so we're really excited about. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Tell me about it. That's awesome.
Well, so we've actually picked out a location. They have 30 days to make it inhabitable and code compliant, or we have to go find another place.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we've gotten that far along in the process where, hey, okay, we know where we want to be. We're just hoping we can be there. And if we can't, we'll figure it out and go to another spot. But yes, next 6 months, we're opening a card shop. We're actually hoping to be open first of the year is our target currently. I'm thinking probably more like February, March, but hey, a girl can dream. We're toying around with a podcast. We've actually recorded 3 god-awful episodes of podcasts so far.
It's fun. It's easy, right? Yeah.
We're not exactly computer geniuses over here. And I guess the other thing in the next 6 months, we really do want to increase our social media presence. We're really looking for a camera guy. If there's any Five with Joel camera guy fans, holler at your boy. We'd really like to start doing some stuff like that because we do think we could put out some fun content, and our world is literally nonstop search for cardboard. So we think somewhere in there could be some good video. And
I would watch the heck out of that. And so, yeah, you think of all the trikes, card collector twos, like they all have their legit photographer camera guy. So there you go. Okay, if you're watching this, you live in the Dallas area, I think that'd be awesome just to follow you on your journey day to day at shows. Funny story. I was at your show. I was at the Austin show last year, and I was so excited to meet you, Pidge. I couldn't even get to your booth. You were like 20 deep.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, but that's a great thing, right? That's
a great
thing. Yeah. Let's see here. I think we are good. My daughter's been knocking on my door the past 2 minutes. I did a pretty good job of staying stoic and focused, by the way.
Oh, boy.
Myself on the shoulder. She's still there. Oh, no, she's crying. All right. That's a great sign to cut this off. Hey, dude, thank you so much. I look forward to doing round 2, round 3 with you. I'm sure I'm going to see you soon. Really appreciate the time, guys. I'm going to give all the information below, so make sure you're following Pickbin, Pidge. He's a man. Any parting words?
No.
He's speechless, you guys. For the first time, he's speechless.
Hey, I really appreciate you letting me do this, Joel. This was really fun, and I need more practice anyways. So thanks a ton, and I'm looking forward to round 2.
Well, keep doing what you're doing, buddy. Speaking for the hobby, speaking for Whatnot, we appreciate what you do. All right, buddy. Take care.